Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Alex Berger. First, we're talking about a monumental moment for the Peoria Park District. Then we'll discuss cooking fires.
And lastly, a mental health and social services organization is working to provide more resources for returning citizens. But our first local story today has Alex in the hot seat. A Peoria park now has 2 more trees, but there's more to the planting than just the trees themselves. Alex is right here to talk about it. Alex?
Yeah, so the trees that were planted today at Donovan Park, they were ginkgo and willow trees. The ginkgo tree represents longevity and wisdom, where the willow represents kind of reflection and memories. The main thing about the ginkgo is it's kind of a different kind of tree because it has things that like fall off the tree and has a little bit more of a standard look. But the willow, I mean, that's an iconic tree. Everybody knows the willow. So those are the trees that were planted.
And what's the significance of the trees?
Yeah, so going off of their kind of deeper meanings, the ginkgo, that tree can last a while. There's a lot of ginkgo trees everywhere. We had one at my middle school. That one was kind of there for years and years and years. So they represent longevity. And the willows, the reason that they kind of represent like reflection and memories is just because of how they look. They sway. They're great for reading, and you can kind of sit and think about stuff, I guess, under it as well. And it actually replaced an old willow that was there at the park. So it's a big part of the Peoria Park District's mission to increase the amount of trees that they have and to kind of help their ecosystem and help their they use the word biodiversity. That is the main thing they use. So that is the significance of them.
Every time you say willow, I think about Pocahontas, and she had Mother Willow was the tree she was talking to. Now, is this common for the Peoria Park District to do such thing?
Oh yeah, they consistently are planting trees. They have people that are specifically for the improving the places where fauna and wildlife can be, and helping the trees get planted, and improving how many shrubs they have. They have people very specifically designated for planting things and for keeping up with their gardens and their parks, and making sure that people who are kind of hiking through have something that they can go along with and kind of see along the way.
All right, well, thank you, Alex. Switching gears here. Here's a trend that got us talking. There's a new TikTok trend called the potato bed.
Okay.
It's a comfortable way of rearranging sheets and pillows to be surrounded and snuggled.
Yeah, the first step is to lay out a fitted bed sheet upside down and stuff the perimeter with thick pillows and blankets to form a fluffy wall. Then fill the middle with blankets, comforters, and any other objects to get cozy. One user who tried it called it an adult-sized baby nest. Another said it was the best night's sleep ever. Honestly, I would do this. Now that I see this, I like cozy stuff. I like blankets. I sleep with like a Sherpa. But you can just have
comforters and pillows on your bed. You don't have to rearrange them like that.
It's true.
Our chief meteorologist, Chris Yates, says somebody just didn't want to make their bed. And that his daughters better not ever think to even try that. Because they just need to make their bed.
That's so funny, yeah.
What happened to making forts?
Yeah, I used to make pillow forts and blanket forts when I was young, so this is definitely up my alley. And the comfier, the better. 'Cause I sleep with a Sherpa once it's cold. I like to kind of toss this little over thing on, and it keeps me warm. I don't know, man. I like being cozy. So, yeah, that's what we got. So, well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we're speaking with Austin Freeman about safety tips to prevent cooking fires this holiday season. We'll be right back. welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, where we talk about the stories that matter to you. Our next local story of the day: with the holiday season upon us, it's important to practice safe cooking habits. 48% of all home fires are from cooking, and Thanksgiving is the most common day for a cooking fire to happen as well. Well, Austin Feeman joins us now from our Twin Cities newsroom to share how you can prevent cooking fires. So, Austin, how can someone prevent cooking fires?
Yes, thank you, Alex. So about 158,400 fires are caused by cooking fires that are caused per year, which is a lot of homes being caught on fire due to cooking. Now, the day before Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Day are the most common days for cooking fires to happen. You know, people are starting to prepare for that Thanksgiving meal. Their families are coming over. They might be a little bit distracted and might leave something on the burner a little bit too long, and it may catch fire. And definitely don't want any of that, because that can cause some catastrophic events to occur. Now, some ways that you can prevent that catastrophic fire from happening in your home during this Thanksgiving season is, when you're in the kitchen, you're frying, you're grilling, you're broiling, do not leave the kitchen. And if you have to leave the kitchen, make sure you turn the stove off or the oven off, just to make sure that nothing is going to go a little bit too long, catch fire, and possibly start burning your house down. Another way is to have someone watch over while you leave the room, or set a timer for yourself. That way you're reminded to check it in however many minutes, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. That way you're not forgetting about it and letting it burn. You should avoid any loose clothing, any long sleeves, maybe flammable clothing like sweaters or something made of yarn may not be the best to cook in. They could easily catch fire if you are not paying attention. You actually stick your arm a little too close to the burner. That could catch fire and cause a fire on your own body, which is definitely not good. And then also keeping children and pets away from the kitchen while you're cooking, just to keep distractions to a minimum. That way you're focused on whatever meal that you're cooking. Keep any pot holders, oven mitts, wooden utensils, paper, plastic bags, food packaging, towels, even curtains away from the burners or that heat source. Those can easily catch fire when you're not paying attention, especially those oven mitts. Take something out of the oven, you throw that oven mitt wherever you can, because you're in a rush. You're making this amazing Thanksgiving meal. Just be aware of where you're putting those flammable things, because those can definitely cause a fire. Definitely clean all of your cooking surfaces regularly. You don't want any grease buildup, because a grease fire is definitely not something we want. That is harder to put out than, say, a regular fire. And have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen or anywhere that you have heat sources that may cause a fire. And then also check your appliances before going to bed. A long day of cooking, you may forget to turn the burner off. I know I've done it at least one time before, which I'm not very proud of, but definitely check those burners, make sure they're not on, and keep your smoke alarms, batteries, check them off and make sure they're always working.
Yeah. So, Austin, one more question for you real quick. For those who don't know, you and I were roommates, and you have seen me cook my fair share of things. You've seen me boil over pots. So what if a top chef like myself, somebody has an actual cooking fire? What should they do?
Yeah, Alex, well, if you do have a cooking fire, if it's a small fire, you can try to put it out yourself with a fire extinguisher or anything of the sorts. If you have a fire blanket, that might also work. But if that fire is large, you have about 2 minutes to get out of the house. Best plan of action is to get you and your family out of the house. Before a fire occurs, it's always good to talk with your family, talk with the people that you're living with, make a plan of how you're going to get out of the building from each room in the house, and where you're going to meet outside. Make an escape plan, make sure that everyone gets out, and then obviously call 911. They can come and help you put that fire out.
All right, thank you, Austin, for giving us those tips. Switching gears here, who would you say is the better driver, men or women?
Hey, I think we're all equal in this world. Okay, I
Okay.
think we're all equal. That's my answer.
That's a good answer because new research shows men think they're better drivers than women, but the stats say otherwise. A recent survey found most men rank themselves as excellent behind the wheel, even though they're far more likely to speed, tailgate, and roll through stop signs. Women, on the other hand, were more likely to call themselves cautious or average drivers, yet they're involved in fewer accidents overall. And here's an interesting one. Women actually pass their driving tests at higher rates than men. So
Oh, wow.
basically, guys are more confident, just not more correct.
Hey, true that. And once
Except
you
I do all those things that they said the men do.
see, but then it comes down to the how many miles per hour over the speed limit are going,
That's
how
true.
close are you know what I mean? And like, there's just certain stop signs. I mean, living in this area for as long as I have, there's some stop signs to where it's kind of like subconscious to me, to where it's like, you just stop and you know, you just go. You know what I mean? But you know, blowing through stop signs is crazy. I couldn't
Yeah.
imagine that. But like, I mean,
I know, like, I have a great aunt that, and
Yeah.
I was in the car when she did this before, as she was telling me what she does. Is
Yeah.
like, depending on an area and like late at night, when the stoplights are red forever, she'll treat it as a stop sign and not a stoplight. So she'll still stop, she'll look, and then go, because it's just
Yeah.
like you're not trying to be caught at the
Yeah.
stoplight slipping.
I've been at a stoplight for like 15 minutes one time and was like, okay, I'll
What
just
is
take
going on?
another way, I
Right.
guess. I don't know. And there's no one there. It was also late at night. But also, I think with men and women, my mom and dad are very different drivers. Each good in their own way. My mom's more of a tunnel vision driver, and my dad is more of a like on instinct driver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
okay.
yeah, that's my answer. All right, well, when we come back, Brianna will be in the hot seat to talk about a potential resource for returning citizens. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Our final story of the day puts Brianna in the hot seat. She's here to share a proposed project from Grow Community. So, Brianna, what is this project from Grow Community? Explain it.
Okay, so you may have seen the stories about like Grow Community wanting to create a halfway house. And that's the terminology they kind of have to go with, because maybe there's not a terminology for what they're actually doing. It's a halfway house. You know, you come straight from prison to that. It's almost like it is a form of a way of re-entry. But with them, they are getting people from Illinois Department of Corrections once they complete their sentence, but they don't come straight to their housing. So we see right here it's 1924 Southwest Adams. It's an old home that would house up to 11 men that are returning to society. However, they have a internal workforce experience where they will work for Grow, has some type of shop that they can work in. And so if you do that for 2 months, then you're fine to then live. And the reason they're doing this is to help people have landlord history. So they'll actually be renting from them. It's just not a house putting them up and then say, here, you're off in the world. Because then what happens if you've been away for some time, up the road, as people say, what renter's history do you have to go to another landlord and say, here? So that's what they want to do. They want to help men return to society. So like I said, they have 2 months where they do cognitive behavioral therapy as well. So they'll do a half day of that and a half day of working. And then they successfully do that for 2 months. Then they can move into the home. Again, Grow Community is based out of Chicago. And so they have offices across Illinois and Ohio. So they already did their pilot program in Chicago. It's been in for about a year now. And so they said it's been successful. And so now they're trying to do the same thing in Peoria.
Yeah, overall, how do you feel like this project in itself aligns with the Grow mission?
Okay, Grow helps boys and men. So they do mental health services and they do social services for the men. They have a good focus when it comes to the men also on re-entry. And so that's how this aligns with their mission, helping people re-enter into society, because we want to keep that recidivism rate, low.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want people returning to prison. We want them to be, they did their crime, they did their time. Let's integrate them back into society. I don't know, people seen Shawshank Redemption, and they had the two with Brooks was treated horribly and how that impacted him. And then Morgan Freeman's character had a different, and so they're trying to have more of Morgan Freeman's characters, integrate people back into society.
Yeah, and we saw that with the elite reentry program
Right.
recently with Carl Cannon here in
Well, they
Peoria.
had the graduation yesterday,
they
was
did.
it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I used to be a correction officer for people
Yes,
that do
this
not
is
know.
very, This is, yeah.
So I've seen those programs from the inside and then the outside as a reporter, where I've covered people getting like their trade certifications with a construction company so that they have an apprenticeship when they get out. And so that pay for their licenses, like driver's license and their license for construction and things like that. So it's always nice, I like to see, when people have different reentry services.
Yeah. So, and then kind of closing out, what is kind of the status of this project?
Okay, well, they went to the Planning and Zoning Commission for the city of Peoria. Commission approved it. It went to council on Tuesday. Council said, we got some questions. We still need answers, So they pushed the vote back until December 9th. I know one of the questions that arose was about funding. Well, they have a grant from the Illinois Department of, it's like Development Housing or something like that, Housing Development Authority, that's what it is. And so it's $475,000, and that grant, Aaron Mallory, the CEO, told me, is designed for reentry homes. So their grant is specifically designed for what GROW is trying to do. But we got to wait till December 9th to see if the council's on board for them. And that grant will take care of acquisition and repairs. As we see, it's boarded up, it's an old home. So it will take care of acquisition and repairs, and GROW has some of their own money in their funding as well.
Yeah, it's a good amount of money. And I mean, we've seen councils kind of take it into their hands with that money when it's kind of like almost not necessarily free, but that's the money they get to use.
Right, so.
Yeah.
Right, so GROW has the grant, they have the funding. The city, it won't cost the city anything.
That's incredible. Yeah. Well, fantastic job, Brianna. Great job as always. Well, take a look at this. New York subway system isn't the prettiest in the world, but for a few weeks, one station may be the best smelling. We were talking about this. A new advertising campaign from Bath & Body Works includes these diffusers pumping a scent of vanilla and fresh pine around one platform in Grand Central Terminal. The company chose that fragrance because it's a long-running seasonal favorite. The scent is subtle, not potent enough for some commuters to notice unless they see the ads around the station. Bath & Body Works estimates that 20 to 30 pounds of the fragrance will be dispersed by the end of the month. The idea was tested last year in smaller stations to review its safety. Wow, 20 to 30 pounds of, woo, that is.
Yes. We didn't put it in here, but there was some people, some commuters that were like, they appreciate it. It's the best it's ever smelled.
I mean, I feel bad for the people with sensitive noses,
That's
though.
what I was thinking too, about allergies and stuff.
Oh my
I remember
gosh.
McDonald's had some stuff like that. As I said, I did a weekend show with Molly and Patrick one time, and that was the thing. McDonald's had billboards that you can smell as well, which is advertising to tell people, oh, I think I want some McDonald's. And I guess Bath & Body Works is trying to help people figure out what to give people for gifts this holiday season. Go to Bath & Body Works.
Trying to one-up them there and say, you know what? Have you ever wanted to smell vanilla when you get on the train? Now you can, but seasonal favorite, so it's like
That might
pumpkin.
help. Certain scents are calming. That might help with, crime or something. Who knows? People will be a little bit more relaxed on the subway. I
like like a lavender. Like a lavender is really good. I like a seasonal Christmas candle. I think that's really nice. I love candles in general. So like I'll stop in the store and I have to smell as many as I can. Or like if we go to Tanner's, I gotta smell all the candles. I don't know. Do you have a favorite candle?
No, I don't. I hate how pumpkin spice takes over.
No, it's everything.
You can't go. I like to smell different candles too, but it's only pumpkin stuff.
Yeah.
And a little apple stuff now. People are integrating that into their stock, but
of course.
I don't have I like the sweet ones, like cakes and stuff. Like, I like that.
It really just depends. Yeah. My mom, her favorite of all time is this candle called Do Re Mi. She's a music teacher, but it is the best smelling candle I've ever smelled. So it's kind of like in stock, like in our house, because they discontinued it.
Oh, wow.
So she has the last, she has the last one.
Oh, she needs to auction that off.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.